Welcome to Behind the Books with Brandy, the podcast that makes taxes, bookkeeping, and small business finances easier to understand. Now here's your host, Brandy Bodine, owner of BB Taxes and Notary. Hey, do you enjoy doing things? People start paying you for it? Maybe you sell baked goods, crafts, plants, bait, photography, repairs, or you just first decided that you wanted to work because you loved it. But when does that activity become a business and who gets to decide? The answer is not simply whether you made money once, opened a social media page, or registered a name. Today we are talking about the bigger picture, profit motive, business-like behavior, good records, and why labels alone do not settle the tax question. Hey y'all. I'm Brandy Bodine, owner of BB Taxes and Notary. Welcome to Behind the Books with Brandy, the show where taxes, bookkeeping, small business, and real life all meet. I'm a wife, a mom, a business owner, a homesteader, so I understand that books do not live in a perfect little bubble. They live right beside client calls, family schedules, chores, animals, and everything else that needs attention. Today's topic is the difference between business and a hobby. This isn't about judging whether or not your activity is serious or worthwhile. It's about understanding how the activity is operated and how those facts may be treated for tax purposes. This episode is a general education, not an individual tax, legal, accounting, or financial advice. Your facts matter, as well as the federal, state, and local rules they may differ. So let's get into it. A common misunderstanding is that activity producing money is automatically a business. Another misunderstanding is that activity cannot be a business if the owner enjoys it. Neither shortcut tells the whole story. The basic question is whether the activity is carried on with a genuine intention of making a profit. That determination depends on all the facts and circumstances. No single fact automatically decides it. Income matters. Calling money, hobby money, side money, or cash on the weekend doesn't make it invisible. Go ahead, tell your tax professional what you received and how the activity operates so that it can be reported correctly. Business-like behavior is more than just buying a logo or printing business cards. It shows up in the choices that you make and the records that you're keeping. Okay, do you maintain complete books? Do you know what you're selling? Do you know what it costs? Do you know whether or not you've earned a profit? Do you keep your money separate? How about this? Do you charge? Do you have products? Do you have to work hours? Are you marketing? Even when the activity is losing money? Did you bring knowledge or experience? Or did you have to seek advice when you needed it? Businesses have losses, especially during startup, or just because circumstances outside the owner's control. The important question is what the owner is doing to pursue profitability, not whether every month looks perfect. Believe me, plenty of legitimate businesses begin with something that the owner enjoys. Loving the work does not automatically make it a hobby. At the same time, personal pleasure can be one fact considering with everything else. The useful question is not, do I enjoy this? It is, am I operating this activity in a way that shows I am earning profit or trying to earn profit? That's going to be the honest and much practical question. And good records, that's where the story is going to tell us. That in and of itself is where the story lies. Good records matter, whether it's an activity that is new, small, part-time, profitable, or just finding its footing. Track all income. Include your cash, your electronic payments. Keep your receipts. Keep invoices. Even the invoices that come from your vendors. Record all your mileage or any other information when the rules require details beyond your bank statement. Remember, saving notes about major business decisions will help you when it comes time to do your taxes. Your record should help somebody understand what happened. Your records need to show where the money came from, what was purchased, when did it happen, and why is it related to the business activity. Yes, a bank statement proves payment, but does not explain the purpose. Those are where your journal entries come in. Good records are going to do more than prepare the return. They tell you whether the activity is actually working. If you cannot tell whether or not you made money, you're not going to be able to make good pricing or spending decisions. So let's slow it down. Let's walk through a full picture, because this right here is where people get tripped up. The IRS doesn't give us a magic answer. It doesn't say, hey, this group of factors is going to be the magic deciding factor on whether or not you're a business. Instead, it gives us a group of different factors, and all of them have to be considered together. No one factor automatically outweighs another. So let's look at them. We're going to look at whether or not carrying on the activity in a business-like way and completing complete, accurate books means that you're in a business. It just actually means that you're keeping records. But can you explain your income, your cost, your pricing, and the decisions you made from those records? If you can, you might be carrying a business. You might be a redneck. In this case, you might be a business carrier. You may have a business. So review those numbers. Use them to run that activity. Second, let's look at the time and the effort you put into the activity. Do you regularly plan it? Are you marketing? Are you producing whatever product it is, whether it's an ebook or sticker packets or anything? Are you doing follow-up, customer service? Can you show that you are trying to make the activity profitable? And by the way, part-time and seasonal work is considered serious work. The biggest question here is, what are you actually doing and how consistently are you doing it? Third one, consider whether you are dependent on the income. I know it's not required in every case, but it is one piece of the overall picture. If the activity is expected to help support your household, your records, your operating choices, all will reflect that goal. So again, third, make sure that that income is dependent on. So fourth, ask where losses happen. A genuine business can and will, unfortunately, lose some money. Startup costs, weather, illness, theft, changing in markets, equipment trouble, just other circumstances that can affect the real operation. But repeated loss with no effort to change may tell a different story. Write down what happened. Explain what you did in response. Fifth, let's look at whether or not you can change those methods. Remember, fourth, we asked why losses happen. Now we're going to tie it into the fifth step we can do. We're going to look at whether or not that change improved the profitability. Maybe we've raised our prices after we learned our true cost, or maybe we stopped carrying a product that never sold, or maybe we just changed suppliers or advertised differently or added hours, or maybe even narrowed our services down. A profit-minded owner will pay attention and adjust accordingly. So now we're going to go ahead and go on to our knowledge. Consider the knowledge that you and even your advisors, if you have advisors, have brought in. The experience, the research, the training, the professional advice, it all can matter. You don't have to know everything in one day. What matters is are you learning what work requires and using that knowledge to pursue, once again, profit. I know, we're almost through. We've only got 10 of these. All right. So our seventh thing to consider that the IRS tells us to consider is whether or not that profit has been made in similar activities before. Past succession does not guarantee this answer, but it can be relevant. If you have built another operation from a loss into a profit, keep records that show your experience and the business methods that you used. Number 8, look at whether the activity earns a profit in years and then how much it earns. One profitable month does not automatically settle the issue on whether it's a hobby or a business. And one loss year doesn't automatically destroy the business either. The size, the frequency, and the history of profits and losses belong to that larger story. 9th, I know we're almost there, we got this. Let's consider whether or not we can reasonably expect to make a future profit from the appreciation of assets used in the activity. For some operations, that's going to be land, animals, equipment. Other property may be part of that profit expectation, but it has to be fact-specific area. So let's not make assumptions based on hope fors or increased values. We're going to bring all those complete facts to our qualified tax professional. We're not going to use the type in, do ourselves taxes when we're in a business. Okay, guys? Let's go to somebody, because even TurboTax, love them to death, doesn't always paint that big picture for you. Finally, personal enjoyment is part of the picture, but it's not a disqualifier. You are allowed to enjoy your work. Plenty of honest businesses grow out of skills and interests that people love. The practical question, again, is whether the activity is being operated with a real profit objective, supported by the way you work, the way you respond to losses, and the records that you maintain. Here's the takeaway. Do not try to win this question with one fact. Do not say, hey, I formed an LLC. I am so done. Or, hey, I made money once. I am so done. Or, hey, I love doing it, so this is just a hobby. No. Gather the whole story. Keep the records. Review the operation honestly, and then let the facts guide the tax treatment. So, here's our 3 questions for this week. Are you ready? First, can I clearly explain how this activity is intended to make profit? Can I do that 10-15 second elevator pitch? Secondly, do my records clearly show every dollar received and every business cost expended? If not, fix that. Absolutely. Number 1, fix it. Third, when the numbers are not working, am I making a reasonable change or simply just repeating the same pattern? Ladies and gentlemen, the definition of insanity: repeating the same pattern and hoping for a new outcome. If you remember nothing else from today, remember this: a business is shown by the way you operate, not by a label, logo, or one profitable weekend. Keep honest records, make profit-minded decisions, and let the full facts tell the story. Business or hobby? Why does the difference matter? Alright, so now it's time for Brandy's mailbag, where we're going to slow down and answer a couple questions from people like you who've been listening in. So I've got Amanda from Tennessee. She says, I sell crafts at 2 fairs a year. Does receiving money automatically make me a business? Okay, well, receiving the money does mean that the income cannot be ignored, but the payment itself does not let me know whether or not this activity is a business. The IRS says in order to be a business, you have to be profitable. While hobbies are generally pursued for pleasure or recreation, all facts and circumstances must be considered. Ask yourself whether you operate with continuality and regulatory, which it sounds like you do. You do it twice a year. Keep complete records. Do you price it for profit? Are you devoting meaningful time and effort? What do you do if your numbers aren't working? Sporadic sell can look different from an organized activity pursued for income or profit. Whether it is a hobby or a business, keep records of what you receive, including cash, payments, payment app transactions, even Venmo, and then what the activity costs. A lot of craft fairs do have a cost for, say, the table or the booth rental. Keep track of that. See if you are constantly making a profit. Do not decide based on only a social media page or an LLC or a single profitable weekend. Bring the full pattern to your tax professional so that they can help you decide if any income or deductions can be handled underneath the rule that actually fits. Okay, and then we got another one from Leon from Texas. He says, BB, I love listening to you, but I have a question. I love photography. Can something I enjoy still count as a business? Absolutely, yes. Enjoying an activity, again, does not automatically say that it is not a business. The IRS includes personal pleasure or recreation among the facts to consider, but no single factor decides that result. The stronger question is whether or not you're genuinely carrying out the activity to make a profit. Are you marketing those services, maintaining records, understanding your costs, setting your prices, investing time and effort into it? And as a photographer, not a business one, but just for fun, I understand that, my gosh, there's a lot that go into doing pictures. So just decide whether you're doing it for fun or if you're doing it to actually seek a profit. On the other hand, calling every camera purchase a business expense while rarely seeking customers or evaluating profits would not make a conclusion automatically. Document the business side, contracts, invoices, income, expenses, pricing decisions, advertising, anything that makes a change to improve your results. If you have any other questions, please reach out to me. All right, lastly, we are going to talk to, I'm going to grab Evan this time from Missouri. I've got two of them. I was debating if I wanted to do Evan or Grace. We may go ahead and do both. Evan from Missouri asked, hey, I received a 1099K. Does that prove that I'm a business? No. It's great for processing payments and goods and services, but it does not actually decide whether you're a business or a hobby. The IRS is still looking at different facts, like, are you profit objective? Do you do it continually, regularly? You have business records, time, effort. Remember, all those things that we talked about before, they have to come in effect. Just because you have a 1099K does not mean that you're a business over a hobby, or that, hey, you had a one-time sell of a big item to a friend of yours, because we all know we do that sometimes. Just don't ignore the form. It doesn't automatically take the place of a business schedule without understanding what it represents. So take it to your tax professional so that they can do a complete picture of it. Remember, the information form is an important clue, but it is not the final legal classification. And then I am going to go ahead and answer Miss Grace, because she does do this. She says, hey, I work on the side business during certain seasons. It's part-time activity. Is it still a business? Yes. I mean, it can be. I guess I'm going to have to say something I learned to say over this last week when I was with my IRS tax convention. It depends. I never loved hearing that word, but it depends. It really, really does. IRS, again, doesn't state that you have to carry on a full-time business activities to be considered self-employed. However, the Schedule C instructions does say to distinguish a business from a hobby, it has to be pursued for income, profitability with continuality and regulatory. So as long as you're doing it every season that you're supposed to be doing it during certain seasons, like taxes are always done between December and April, that would be considered a sporadic, something that can only be done during certain seasons. So as long as it's done for profit reasons, you're doing it continuously, you're preparing inventory, marketing, booking clients, selling, maintaining records, making profit-minded decisions, all of those are going to kind of go into that. So yes, a part-time activity can still be considered a business. So that is going to be all for today's mailbag. If you have a general question for a future episode, please send it through the official BB Taxes and Notary contact channels. Again, leave out your social security numbers or any PII. If this episode helped you, follow Behind the Books with Brandy and share it with all your small business owners and friends and family who could use a little less confusion and a lot more confidence. Next time we'll be building on our weekly bookkeeping routine, as well as keeping small businesses from facing 8 years worth of cleanup at once. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of your books, and remember, there is real life behind every number. This podcast provides general education information and is not individualized tax, legal, accounting, or financial advice. Tax rules and deadlines can change. Consult a qualified professional for your specific situation. Thank you and have a blessed day. Thanks for joining us for Behind the Books with Brandy. Follow the show so you'll never miss an episode. And remember, good records, smart planning, and the right guidance can make all the difference. Until next time.